Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here. It is Thursday the 14th of November. Thanks again for watching weatherwebber.net. Don't forget, the site to get free of charge by the adverts you'll see around the screen here. And by you coming back using the site, using the charts, telling your friends about it, that's what generates the revenue that keeps us free of charge. So thanks for doing that. Now, we've got some colder weather on its way, as you're probably aware. We'll take a look at the snow situation in just a mo. This is the temperature chart for London. You'll notice we stay fairly steady really through until Monday, but then we see this sharp temperature fall off during Monday. And it's a similar situation across the country too. This is Belfast. Look, there's your temperature fall off during the course of Monday itself. Now, let's just tell the story a little bit of how things develop, because the charts for the next few days certainly do show us what's going on. This is the chart for today. You've got a cool northwesterly bringing showers to northern and western areas. Now, through Friday, we find high pressure building in down here towards the southwest. Weak front through Scotland, bringing moisture air there. And on Saturday, the high pressure stays with us down to the south, generally dry for most. But this cold front, look, the first kind of hit of cooler air coming in, bringing stronger winds through Scotland during the course of the day, but lighter winds to the south. That front tending to lose its power, though, as we go through the course of Sunday. And I think what that then does is just bring an area of drizzle and mist and murk across the central southern areas. But you notice here, look, the next cold front starting to line up, well, the next couple of cold fronts starting to line up, and they've both got colder air to the north of them. Now, by Monday, our first cold front that's been lying through us actually has a change. It gets pepped up by colder air coming into the back edge of it. It makes the front sort of generate itself again, and we'll take some heavier periods of rain across southeast England and the Midlands during the course of the night and into the first thing on Monday morning. Then this cooler air comes in, bringing sunshine and showers to most, those increasingly turning to sleet and to snow across northern and western Scotland and the north and west of Ireland. And then by the time we get in towards Tuesday, we're in a colder northerly flow. Now, this doesn't tell the whole story. We're going to get colder air at upper levels, just draining in all the time southwards. Now, what this is going to do, it looks like it peps up the southern part of this trough during the course of Tuesday afternoon. That brings the potential for more persistent rain somewhere through the Midlands, Wales, southwest England, and the potential for that turning to sleet and snow on Tuesday afternoon, even though most of these showers already around the coast on Tuesday will have fallen as snow, particularly on the hills, but inland should be drier. Now, confidence pretty high in that at the moment. Let me show you what's going on. I should say at this stage, I think one of the main problems next week is going to be ice rather than snow, particularly through Tuesday and Wednesday. But let's just pick up on what's happening here. Interesting to see how the models compare. This is the ECMWF, and this is for midnight Tuesday going into Wednesday. And you notice the trough here. Look, this is cold air just coming in all the time to this trough, deepening the cold pool, puts an area of lower heights across the Midlands, and it's within that zone that we find the front getting strengthened and the increase in the risk of some snow. High pressure out towards the west, that's forcing this region northwards, and it's that takes milder air north, cools off across the pole, and then sinks it south through the UK. ECMWF ensemble do much the same. Look, here's the trough. And again, on the Canadian, again, look, here's the trough once again. But the Canadian actually splits off that trough. Got a section to the north there, cuts off this little cold pool down towards the south. So it's a long way away. So although that cold pool is a little bit further south, really anywhere within this sort of zone, you can pretty much say, well, it's smack on in agreement with other forecasts. So they are building this idea of this trough, like trying to get generated during the latter part of Tuesday. And even the GFS ensemble, look, has it in there too, with low pressure here across Europe and this cold eastern northeasterly feed. So it looks like something's going on next Tuesday. And then looking further ahead on the ensemble, this is the chart for Friday, the day after my birthday. Did I tell you my birthday was next Thursday, the 21st? Just in case, I thought I'd mention that to you. Anyway, Friday has got this cold northeasterly as well. Look, the low pressure over Europe, we've got the high pressure out towards the west, and even a couple of days later, on Sunday, look, the low pressure has edged its way further north. Still got this northeasterly, high pressure up towards north. I think what happens here is that temperatures actually gradually start to pick up a little bit once again, but still feeling cold with that northeast wind. And even into Tuesday the 26th, look, still got the cold northeasterly in place. and even by Thursday the 28th, so 2 weeks today, still having that similar flow. Low pressure down here, look, still got this east or southeasterly, but do notice that the flow itself isn't from a very cold source, so it is starting to want it to feel colder than it has done recently, but not probably as cold as it will do next Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. And after that, so we see that temperature kind of pick up slowly, but still the model's giving very strong indications that our area of high pressure stays west, low pressure stays south, and we get this consistent east and northeasterly flow for much of the rest of November. And that's pretty well what the CFS has got on there as well for the rest of the month. This is for the rest of November, look, and these are the pressure anomalies. So you see here, high pressure, look, southwest of Iceland, lower pressure down here, and here it is, look, this eastern northeasterly flow. Now, in terms of detail, probably what you find is Scotland and Northern Ireland are generally drier than normal, with the best sunshine there, but some frosts. Whereas much of England and Wales, with that northeasterly, probably seeing drizzle, damp, murky conditions at times. And yeah, there could be some snow, particularly over the hills, particularly if that wind goes more into an easterly, which it's hinted at possibly doing. I'll show you more of the CFS in just a second. But I think, again, ice and frost really are probably the main problem. But please don't go running away with the idea this is, you know, some sort of Daily Express winter blizzard. It's just not going to be. It's a cold blast of winter, but what is interesting is that this pattern setup of the high here, the low here, is one that we've seen consistently, isn't it, over the last couple of winters. And again, it kind of backs up my theory, which if I've got time I'd do a bit of research on, that actually the pattern, the overall global pattern, has changed during the last few years. I think the change really came about 2007. Do you remember the summer floods? I think that was the highlight, the first sign of the change coming through. And I think we've just gone into this change of pattern. And when you look at the PDO, it's there. The pattern has definitely changed. Now, just back to Tuesday again. This is how the GFS sees things. It's going to struggle a bit because it's got so much cold air with it. But this is the actual weather prediction for Tuesday. You notice two areas of snow. One here affecting eastern Scotland, and another one here. Look across southern parts of the Midlands, southern Wales, southwest England, and central southern England. I just wanted to explain a little bit about what's going on here. I think what's going on here is we've just seen our trough, which of course was through here, something like this. It could cut off here, and what will happen is if we do get steady showers and rain through the day, it just drags down temperatures, and eventually that turns to snow, particularly on the hills, perhaps even a little bit at lower levels. But I think what then happens is that as this clears away, this is where I think ice becomes a problem. Notice as well the snow showers just feeding into north and northwestern parts of Wales, northwestern England, also for the north and the west of Scotland, but far less off towards the east, at least through the course of Tuesday. So I think this is going to be a day really of rain within this sort of area, just turning increasingly to snow, and of course that area could shift and probably will do over the next few runs of the models. In terms of any potential snow depths, again, I think the GFS probably not doing too bad a job of it. This is snow depth ending on at midday on Wednesday, so Wednesday the 20th. And again, you can't take these figures too literally. This is really more relevant to high ground. So we're looking at sort of 3 to 6 centimetres over the Pennines. This is fresh snow, probably up to 7 centimetres across the mountains of Scotland. But it's this area here that's of interest. Look, the Welsh Mountains into southwest England, the high ground of central southern England, probably seeing between about 1 and 5 centimetres of snow over high ground. Low levels means there could be a dusting, wouldn't be surprised at all. And also the hills of Northern Ireland and western parts of Ireland, look, could see some snow too. So I think what we're looking here is snow over high ground, not necessarily at the surface. So I just wouldn't rule out the risk of there being a dusting here and there. Now, I did mention I'll show you more of the CFS weeklies. These are hot off the press, literally just arrived here at weatherweb.net. And this is week 1, and it shows the 500 millibar height anomalies. Look, got higher than normal heights here, lower than normal down towards the south, up towards the north. Here's our area of high pressure. It's interesting to follow this flow, actually, because if you follow it back, look, it does something like that around the low pressure across the poles. Then it comes south across the UK. So actually, given a few more weeks, it would have been much, much colder than it is, but given that sort of source region out here and out here, really that air, although it's cooler because it's coming across cooling land masses of Russia now, actually it's not as cold as it could be, so it's cool rather than cold. Just take a look at week 2 from the 21st. Oh, did I mention that's my birthday? Through to the 27th. I've got people in the office here just tutting and shaking their heads. Anyway, this is the outlook for week 2, and you notice what it does is it pushes these higher than normal heights up towards the north, which is where the high is likely to be. Low pressure down towards the south. The flow doing something like that around these areas of high and low pressure. Notice the source region, look, is being pushed further north, so it's actually coming close to northern Greenland, almost close to the pole by then, and going deeper into Asia before getting across to us. And this low moving its way northwards, bringing the hint of more unsettled conditions across more southern parts of the country, and that northeasterly flow but drier towards the north. So this again backing up the story we've just seen. And then into week 3, and bit of a change in the flow, in the way things develop. Look, higher than normal heights up here towards the north, out towards the east here as well, and lower than normal in the Atlantic. So the flow that we're going to pick up is probably something like so. So the overall flow pattern will probably try, what would it try and do? It gets a bit mixed up there, but it's probably trying to kind of come in something of that sort of order. So our flow gets mixed up across the south. This is where I think we may become a little bit milder through more southern and western areas right at the very end of November, perhaps the early part of December, but still high pressure north, low pressure south, so more unsettled through these parts of the country. But then look, into week 4, it still maintains higher than normal heights up towards the northwest of the country, low than normal down towards the south. And what's important here is the flow pattern now, because our flow pattern doing this, look, coming over the pole, it gets disrupted to some extent through here. We then pick up higher pressure across Scandinavia, and we get that kind of flow coming back in. So this easterly flow coming back in across the country. If this one comes off, this will be cooler. So this will be a cold beginning to December. So I think I'm developing this idea, which I hinted at a few days ago, of this cold snap coming through now for the second half of November. Warming up a little bit towards the end, becoming slightly milder, but then really our true cold snap coming through at the beginning part of December for this first half of December. I think the first half of December colder than the second half of December, and starting to pick up signals that actually January, February may not be that bad. But of course, we'll revise that as we go along, and I know you'll use this information intelligently. So loads of information for you to inwardly digest there, but it's cool. Winter's on its way. But for now, thanks for watching weatherweb.net. Please do tell your friends about us and tell them to come and look at the site. And remember that we kept free of charge because of the adverts that you see around the screen here. So, once again, thanks for watching and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.